Hello, everyone. This is Claudia from Toronto, and I am so excited to be here tonight. I have been doing these live classes for about a month, and I am so excited that many people have been enjoying them. I'm enjoying them, and really it is something that I am blessed that I really love teaching and being involved with what I love most and telling other people about it. So everybody that knows me a little bit knows that it is my passion, and it's just transferring information. I call it this way. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Claudia, and I am in Toronto, Canada, and I have a 6-year-old son. His name is Mateo, and he is the joy of my life. And this is one of the reasons why I started into this field of being a health advocate. I wanted to tell everybody that all these classes that I've been doing, it's just everything is new learning for me from the past few years, past few months, or even past few weeks. And so I like to call myself and my team, we have this hashtag, which is we're health advocates. We really just love telling you what we're learning through everything that we read, everything that we discuss in our meetings. And I have great partners. I have wonderful, amazing people that surround me. Kawinder Samra is my best friend and buddy. We talk all day about health. Jay, Michael Smith, and Judy, who are watching me right now, welcome to my seminar. These are my most amazing friends that God has sent me in the past year, because there's nobody like them that are more geared towards the health advocacy that we want to teach everybody. So thank you, everybody. And for those of you that are watching me live on my Facebook, thank you also for being on my Facebook. I wish you guys would have registered, because that way I can actually send you some more emails, and I can also put you in a draw. I do a weekly draw with these weekly classes, and I send you a little gift that you get on the mail, and so it's very exciting. So that's a little bit about me. I don't want to get too much into me, but more about you and why you're here and what I want to tell you about sleep. I also want to show you at the end of my presentation a little bit about how I've been logging sleep patterns. And I wish this light wouldn't glare so much so I could see you all, but I unfortunately have to read with my glasses. But in the meantime, while I get everything organized, I do want to tell you that sleep is a priority in everybody's life, but we have been forgetting about it. So I am going to give you some tips. But what I wanted to tell you is think about the 24 hours for a second. I want you to breathe it in and just analyze why it's divided in 24 hours. It's very simple, actually. We're supposed to sleep, live, and work 888. It really should be that way. But who really sleeps 8 hours anymore? And this is what people used to do when they didn't have light, and then they didn't really have television, and then they didn't have internet. And so our sleep has been cutting. The only thing we can cut off on is sleep. We don't cut off on work. We can't. We actually get worse because we have to get to work, and it takes us sometimes an hour or 2 hours or whatever time it takes you to get to work. We can't cut on work. In fact, people are taking extra jobs, second incomes, and all kinds of stuff. And we definitely cannot cut on family, which is one of the things we actually do cut off on. So between work, our 8 hours of family and 8 hours of sleep being cut off, it allows us more time to work, to get more money for the things that we think we need, but actually take us away from the things that are important. So think a little bit about that as I start. And that's it for my introduction. So let's start this show, guys. Okay, so I am broadcasting live, like I said, so I got a couple of things going on at the same time. This system is amazing. We have a system that helps us do all of our presentations, all of our, there we go. Okay, so Sleep 101, this is a disclaimer for Synduit, and this is the system that I'm using. We have great presentations with Synduit. I really am loving and enjoying them. Now, one thing I want to ask you is if you are enjoying these classes that I'm doing for free, let me know, because I will do some more, and I will do them every week. But if they're maybe too often, tell me, and maybe I'll do them once a month. Let me know a little bit about what you think about these classes, and you can do that on the Facebook Live, or you can do that through the chat, through the text message. Sleep 101. Okay, let's start. So welcome everybody. Thank you for those, again, that make it inside the Zoom room. Some of you don't even know how to use Zoom. So if you don't know, also type, I don't know how to use Zoom, so I can show you, because Zoom is just a better way for us to communicate, because you can do a live question and I can see it. If you're doing it on the Facebook, I might not be able to see it. I still don't multitask as well. So I do have my sister and I think Michael and Judy in it. So they might be answering some of your highs and welcomes. So welcome everybody. This is Saturday night, and I just want to tell you how much I enjoy my life. I have been working on balancing and putting everything back to where it needs to be, because ultimately, this is what I crave. I crave living longer. I crave being with Mateo up until he has grandchildren. Like I said, he's only 6, and I'm already thinking about my grandchildren. But it really is the life that I want to live. And for that, it's not only about nutrition, which we have done some segments on that. It's not only about physical activity. It really is about balance. And one of the things we cut off on is sleep. So some resources that I'm going to attach at the end. Everything that this system has created for us tonight has backup with studies, and it has a lot of YouTube videos from doctors and universities, and lots and lots of good topics to back it up with what I've been going to tell you about tonight. Lack of sleep. One of the biggest health challenges that people face today is lack of sleep. And in fact, there's over 50 million, I'm going to say 50 to 70 million adult Americans who suffer from sleep or wakefulness disorder. And given that to be healthy, we should be spending 1/3 of our entire lives asleep, this figure is pretty staggering. So this can be due to a number of reasons. As with any health issues, it can be influenced by varying some external factors. It could be that they're not creating the space in the schedule for adequate sleep, or not understanding the importance of it, and therefore letting any sleep-related responsibility go uncared for. By attending our sleep-related needs, we can ensure the rest of our day is maximized. You can enhance your health, you can enhance productivity levels, and overall, you're going to have a deeper connection with the world that surrounds you, because we now have the energy to do so. Has it happened to you that you come home and you just can't even be with your family or your children because you're exhausted? Well, a good night's sleep can actually fix that. A good night's sleep can be defined between 6 to 9 hours, depending on the activity that you had throughout the day. So during these 6 to 9 hours, 20 to 25% should be REM sleep, which I will explain in a second if you don't know REM. And it's not really the quality of the level, but it's the consistency. So there's many definitions and opinions that constitute a good night's sleep. But when it really comes down to what works, you are the only one that can actually adapt that to your schedule and what the things that you are doing. So let's talk a little bit about side effects of sleep deprivation. We have all been there. Sleepily putting on the ad sock or stumbling around wearily in the dark. The obvious effects of not getting enough sleep are clear. You wake up and you're like what we call groggy. And yet, as our day wears on, the effects of sleep deprivation multiply, regardless of how much coffee or energy drinks we drink. And some of the things that you may have noticed that when you have had insufficient sleep are that you tend to snooze on the wheel. So these are really one of the biggest causes of accidents. Research has shown that in the U.S., 20% of the car accidents occur as a result of a drowsy driver. Lack of energy causes our response to be lowered, filtering peripheral awareness and ultimately increasing chances that we'll make a mistake while we're driving. And it's not just road accidents. Mistakes or discrepancies at work due to lack of attention span and energy can lower the productivity. So it's happened that when you are looking at your screen, you feel like you're dozing off and the numbers are just pretty much erasing in front of you. So how does that feel? How do you feel in a job that you have no energy? You start feeling job dissatisfaction. And so this actually starts just lowering the performance at workplace and just causing you to not want to be there. So this is really a lot of what people have been fighting about. I don't like my work, when they actually are lacking sleep. If you're lacking sleep, you're definitely not going to like your work. Side effects of sleep deprivation. Not getting enough sleep also leaves us more prone to developing other seemingly non-related health problems. As the body learns to function on low levels of energy over the course of a period of poor sleep, this means there is less energy left over to help aid the body in its recovery from other illnesses that may not seem directly influenced by sleep levels. Lack of sleep has been linked to such serious afflictions as diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, and even heart disease. It's also been known to shorten your overall life expectancy. Remember I told you I want to live long for Mateo. I want to be there until as much as I can. So I don't want to lower my life expectancy. I want to make it as long as I can. So while there are generally several factors involved, it's still quite telling that these illnesses could be shaped or at least improved by examining our sleep patterns and energy levels over a period of time. And that's what I'm going to show you at the end of this presentation, what I have been doing for 3 weeks. Short-term studies were noted as heightening the blood pressure, lowering blood glucose levels, and increasing inflammation. It follows so that long-term persistence of these symptoms could lead to more deeply rooted expressions of these imbalances. It can lead to effects that you don't want to see. So why do so many people experience this uncomfortable and stressful sensation of not being able to sleep? What do you think? If you want to type your question, this is the time. So overstimulation, the overstimulation that we have around, and it's present and constant, means there's always something externally happening that we need to catch each other. And this is, we need to win or achieve. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop for a second. Mateo just came home and he's making faces at me. Give me a kiss and say hello. And then can you let me finish my meeting? Thank you. Yeah, you can do one of those. Okay.
Is it yummy or not?
It's yummy. Let me finish this meeting, okay? Bye. I love you. I can't. He's giving me a cough drop. Okay. Bye, sweetie. I'm doing a presentation.
Could you sleep, please?
Yeah, I'll put you to sleep after the meeting.
I want to show you something
after. Thank you, baby. Well, this is Mateo. I didn't introduce before, and I wanted to tell everybody that this is the reason why I love doing these workshops or classes from home, because I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to go to a classroom. I don't have to go and be away for too long. I can actually do my class and put my baby down to sleep afterwards. So this is what is so great about the life that I live in. And again, I'm just looking for that work-life balance. And not that I'm working right now. Giving you guys the classes doesn't feel like work. It actually just feels like I love sharing what I'm learning. And we are learning together, but I also get to spend time with Mateo. So, okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Overstimulation of the things that we're doing. So every day we're working on achieving better, achieving more, and just, being the best that we can be. We want to be in control of everything. And this problem is really that it keeps your mind active all night. So daytime, you're thinking about, the work and the things that you have to do, and it just does not allow you to disconnect. So technology is one of the big problems right now. Before technology became such a massive and overwhelming factor in our lives, our bodies were in tune to the rising and the setting of the sun. So the farther and farther away from this that we have moved, now our bodies are out of tune. So things that are generally needed in our body, like that in tuning of when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, we are supposed to now be shutting down, and we just continue going on and on with so much things that go around. We just have more light than ever. We turn on more lamps. We set up more lamps in our houses, and everything is on. TV is on. Computer is on. It's called blue light. Blue light is everything that is emitting from your iPad, your phone, your iPhone, your iPad. We have so much technology, and so this is what actually has altered our melatonin levels. Melatonin is the hormone that actually starts decreasing with that sun coming down, and it helps you get into that mood of sleeping. But the melatonin in our bodies is actually now completely altered because of the blue light and technology that we have adhered to. And so the melatonin levels are all messed up. So that's what is happening. So ways to combat this and these light related issues. Dim the light of your screen as low as you can. So a lot of us, I personally read up until the end, up until when I'm like shutting down everything. And so you need to dim your phone or put it on night light, and try to do this, and also set the lights low in your house, because that way your retina starts analyzing that it's time to do that downward effect that it needs to do. You need to actually disconnect as much as you can from everything 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Disconnect from TV, computer, tablets, and smartphones. And I know this is one of the hardest things, but it really is the best advice. And I know you've heard it before, but until you realize that you break the cycle, we're not, you and me, I speak about me, we're not going to be able to get to where we need to get. Try to regulate the bedtime routine. Do you go to bed every time at the same time? I actually do. I just go home. I just go to bed too late, but I do go to bed pretty much at the same time. This allows your body to regulate that sleep cycle. Limit the mind stimulation in the hours leading towards bedtime. Activities like reading a book, listening to music, or meditating are very beneficial to the mind because it helps you focus on one thing and it makes you drift to sleep easier. Charge any phones or devices and try to keep them away from your nightstand, or try to keep them away from you. The farther, the better. So we got to make sure, this is really important, we got to make sure that nutrition is right there. Our bodies are lined up to rest. And so you've heard that you're not supposed to really have a heavy meal before 7 p.m. And this has a reason for it. Studies have shown that low-carb diets and high sugar consumption, not just the bad kind of sugar, every kind of sugar, before bed or throughout the day is a huge contributing factor to the difficulties that many people have sleeping. Our physiology is not set up to deal with the typical carb-loaded Western way of eating, which is why insomnia and diet have become strongly linked. So if you have ever put gas into a diesel engine, you'll know that putting the wrong fuel in the car is going to get not the ideal results. So this applies to us. Not only are we putting the wrong fuel and it's helping us gain weight, but it's also damaging our sleep. So refined carbs like white sugar, white rice, and products made of white flour like bread and cakes. And I think in my previous seminar, you guys heard that I love that last little cookie with milk, because we're so used to things like this, but it is actually causing problems even in your sleep. This is really one of the biggest problems because it's second to caffeine. It's now research has shown that second to caffeine is eating carbs before going to sleep is one of the problems with people that cannot sleep well at night. Refined carbs get broken down to glucose in your gut, and they're absorbed very quickly into your bloodstream as they have a high glycemic index. And we talked about this in our last class. So this makes your blood sugar shoot up to a really high level. And this is bad news for your body because it spills out a whole load of insulin to deal with the threat. And because it had to do it in an emergency job, it overshoots the mark, which means now you end up with low blood sugar. And if you're eating natural foods, which tend to have a low glycemic index, these violent swings in blood sugar and insulin don't happen. So it sounds a lot easier than it is, but familiarizing yourself with your body and the way that particular foods influence your sleep is vital. So if you're going to make any progress on sleeping, I want you to check the resources I'm going to add at the bottom of the video. Reasons for lack of sleep. In adults, there's several, but let's talk about lifestyle first. While lifestyle is one of the factors that we have already discussed, there's no denying that there's a lot more than what seems obvious. So anyone can tell you to put down the phone before bed. And our fascination with improving diet and fitness is deeper than just, doing it for sleep reasons. But factors like work hours, work location, taking a nap, sleep cycle regulation, and environmental factors can all also have an effect on the pattern. So if these things should be considered when seeking to improve it, you need to analyze, like I said, if you're working long hours at home and often don't stop working until late in the evening, then it can start creating confusion between sleep and work hours. So you're not dividing the 8-8-8 that I talked about at the beginning. So this would mean that your quality of work and your quality of sleep have been compromised, and so you're not doing either one well. If you're taking naps regularly and find yourself in need of sleep at random intervals during the day, this is generally an indication that your nighttime sleep pattern is out of balance. So when you think that you're being healthy by taking a nap, actually you're not being too healthy, because something is wrong with your night pattern if you're having to take a nap in your daytime. To minimize this necessity for naps, you need to regulate that sleep cycle. Environment. It's often difficult to manipulate the external factor of sleep, but there are some things that can be done. First of all, clean your room, sleep with less clutter, reduce the stimulation around you. Don't put too many pictures in the wall, or if you do, put pictures that are calm. Maybe light a candle or something simpler, just something, maybe diffuse some oils. Turn off all the devices an hour before, and this will actually help you a lot. Minimize outside noise. I know that sometimes we can't control it, but if you're a light sleeper, consider choosing a bedroom that is farther than the street, or you have to consider this when you're buying or renting a house or an apartment. If you're buying close to the highway, or if you're buying, close to a railroad and you have sleep problems, that's not going to work. I used to live with my parents-in-law when I was previously married, and they used to live on the top floor, and we were living in the bottom floor, and this affected us a lot because there was a lot of noise happening, and this affected highly the person that I was married with, to the point that right now he has very high sleeping problems right now. And we had dogs. The dogs used to make a lot of noise with their little nails and their little claws, and it affected him for the rest of his life. Now, I know that we say it's difficult to keep the phones off, but there's a big advice now, and it's actually to buy an alarm clock, not to put the alarm clock off the phone. That way you can actually keep the phone out of the bedroom, and that's something I'm going to work on so that my son actually can benefit from seeing his mom not always on the phone. Let's talk about sleep and mental health. Sleep is effective on our health as eating, drinking, and breathing, because it allows our cells to repair themselves and allows our brain to process and receive information. It's also linked to various mental health disorders such as anxiety and depression, and also low levels of physical energy translate into poor cognitive activity and lack of ability to process through thoughts clearly. So when seeking to boost our mental health, it makes sense improving sleep quality. I used to always think that, or people say that if they exercise before going to bed, they actually sleep better. This could be a good way if you want to try that. That's also a good word of advice. The difference that you will feel after several consecutive good night sleeps in your overall mood and awareness is really incredible. Prioritize sleep above anything else. Lack of sleep contributes to developing and worsening mental health. And if you're prone to struggling with issues like we mentioned before, this could be a great risk. So you got to prioritize sleep. So I'm going to link a Harvard Health newsletter article, and it covers 70 types of sleep disorders in existence. And the most common problems are insomnia, obstructive sleep apnea, and various movement syndromes. And so I'm just not going to mention them all. For those of you that are interested in the link of mental health and sleep deprivation, I want you to go to that link that I'm going to attach. REM. So this is great. A lot of people think that they actually dream all night. You don't dream all night. You only dream during the REM period. And this was a really interesting fact that I learned a couple of years ago. If you dream a lot, it means you're sleeping deeply. If you're dreaming as soon as you go to bed, that might be just thoughts that you have in your mind. So REM stands for rapid eye movement, and it only occurs on cycles of about 90 to 120 minutes throughout the night. And it accounts to 20 to 25% of total sleep time in adult humans, although the proportion decreases with age. A newborn baby may spend 80% of the time sleeping in REM stage. In particular, REM sleep dominates the latter half of the sleep period, especially the hours before waking. And the REM component of each sleep cycle typically increases as the night goes on. So as the name suggests, it is associated with rapid and apparently random side-to-side movements of the closed eyes, a phenomenon which can be monitored and measured. So if you had a baby, if you have or have had a baby, you will remember when they sleep, they actually move their little eyes a lot. And that's because they spend a lot of time in REM. I remember when Mateo did it. This eye motion is not constant, but intermittent. And it's still not known exactly what the purpose of it is, but it's believed that rapid eye movement may relate to the internal visual images of the dreams that occur during this night's sleep, especially those associated with the brain waves that spike in the regions involving vision. So I'm also adding a Huntington Post article on that. And so how do we boost this REM sleeping? By cultivating a day and nighttime routine so we can more successfully sleep in this REM period, just following more the guidelines on diet, fitness, and lifestyle factors that we talked about. So you could introduce this lifestyle to yourself. There's no reason why you cannot make the changes that you need to make. Meditation and sleep disturbances. So one amazing way to start maximizing your sleep is by learning how to meditate. Some people call it meditate, some people call it prayer or meditative prayer, whatever you want to call it. And by becoming more aware of the thoughts, the tendencies, the patterns, meditation supports the overall more balanced, rounded, and energized lifestyle. Another aspect of this kind of lifestyle is regular sleep cycle. There are many different effective meditations that can be done to support better cycles of sleep. Meditation helps us drift deeper into a state of sleep and, more importantly, remain there. This calming focus is an alternative to stressful and agitated focus of the day that you have had. So if you learn how to meditate, you will find very quickly how it will improve those nights of sleep that you need and those extra hours that you need. Again, I'm going to add a Harvard Health study on this one that is very interesting on meditation and how it helps fight insomnia. Sleep cycle apps. This is the one I'm going to show you at the end. So sleep cycle apps are a variety of apps that you find for, iPhone or Android, whatever you have. There are many of them. And it just talks to you about your sleep cycle. Maybe I should talk about it now instead of at the end. No, I'll leave it for the end. Flow state and sleep. Flow state can be felt by people that maybe love painting, and a lot of people that are buying those coloring books. You may understand a little bit about what flow state is. An artist, I am actually an artist. That was what I graduated on. I'm a textile designer. And so I studied plastic arts through my university. And so when you're painting or doing ceramics, or I also would think that a jogger would feel that too. It's a state where you actually flow into a different state where you're disconnected from where you need to be. So it's a state during which our creative capacity is heightened, leading to a more intense and lengthened state of focus. It can also feel like we're more deeply in tune with our bodies and minds. And it's interesting to consider our capacity to focus in terms of ability to cultivate deep states of sleep. So this flow state, the brain waves are involved, and it maintains continued and deep states of sleep. Like I said, a lot of these coloring books that people are buying now, they're a great way to go into this flow state, which is unfocusing your mind from everything else and just going into that, like the name says, state of flow, where you just focus on what you're doing. Flow state is elusive for some during daylight hours, and it makes sense for them to postpone any work-related pursuits until later. Physiological insomnia. This kind of insomnia is possible, one of the most difficult to deal with. During a period of psychophysiological insomnia, a patient experiences a lack of sleep during which their thoughts are preoccupied by the fact that they're not currently sleeping and worrying about the consequences, the effects, and the outcomes of this effect. So this becomes almost like a hamster wheel. You're worried about not sleeping, and that actually allows you not to sleep. So if you have ever had a big meeting and experienced lack of sleep the night before, as you apprehend and overanalyze the potential outcome of the day, you will know that feeling. It affects more female patients than males and is characterized by anxiety as the night starts and worrying about the quality of the impending night's sleep, and then the lack of. And the consequences should they not achieve sufficient sleep is that the preoccupation will actually start, help them start the day tired and feeling with like a jet lag kind of feeling. And so now you're getting to your meeting and you can't even remember what you were supposed to say at the meeting. So this disorder can be treated and by engaging in relaxation techniques and meditation. So again, I'm going to actually add a clinicaladvisor.com article. Very, very good. Sleep enhancing foods. Okay, we got 3 more slides. While we discussed the importance of regulating your diet and cultivating healthy sleep patterns, there are some foods that encourage and promote deeper sleep more than others. Eating protein-rich foods that are rich in an amino acid called tryptophan can benefit those that are improving sleep. You can find it in chicken, turkey, milk, dairy, nuts, and seeds. And these are some of the preferences, but the important thing is not to eat too much, remember, because it's not going to help you if you're eating too much. So foods with natural occurring amino acids like walnuts, almonds, green leafy vegetables, and root vegetables are great grounding choices that will return you to a calmer state of mind and ease that anxiety before retiring for the night. Find more sleeping-inducing foods in the link that I'm going to attach. Essential oils. Okay, this one is a great, great topic. Essential oils are I'm not very familiar with it. I don't know yet too much about it. I'm just learning, but it's really, oh my gosh, it has become great. I put my essential oils diffuser in Mateo's room, and it just works really nice for a lot of things, and I put this lavender scent, and it just makes everything smell so good. So for anyone not familiar with the concept, they are broken down volatile organic molecules that can change quickly from solid or liquid at the room temperature. So they're called volatile because they change the state quickly. But the most important fact to know for the benefit of this class is that they are derived from organic plant sources and can be very powerfully fragrant. Some of these natural fragrances have been proven for many, many years, hundreds of years, to promote and induce a calmer state of mind and encourage a more balanced central nervous system, which allows us to more effectively prepare for sleep. So for this reason, many people are using essential oils like myself, such as lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, ylang-ylang, and cedarwood, among others, and in their sleeping areas. And many studies have linked the effects of lavender and the effects that it has on the nervous system. So we can conclude that the use of essential oils has positive impacts on the emotional state and physical tension involving sleep disorders. Essential oils have so many benefits, and it's been a great area to begin exploring if it could help you with your sleep patterns. So I'm going to attach a medical link on that one. Other strategies to promote sleep. So I have mentioned there's a lot of other strategies. I can't touch on everything, but just to finish up, this is maybe journaling, releasing those thoughts into a book, or maybe talking to a friend at the end of the night. I talk to my sister, and it's very rewarding. And sometimes I just have a chat about, what happened throughout the day. If you're married, talk to your partner and release everything you need to release. Yoga, changing your diet, learning how to use essential oils, all of the things that we have talked about today will help you achieve the desired effect. So we are done for tonight. I'm going to show you the Sleep app. And I hope this event has been informative for you and that I have succeeded in drawing awareness to the benefits of consistent sleep cycle and what this can have in your life. So I'm going to answer any questions if you have, and I'm just going to come back into this slide. Thank you very much for attending this seminar, and I'm just going to put my big face here so I can show you my app and what I have been doing, so I can do a little bit better with what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is a sleep app, and this came to me by surprise. I actually did not plan it, did not try to log into it. So what it is this is my iPhone. So if you guys have iPhone, if not, you're going to have to download an app, but this is the one I'm using right now. And it actually logs every night. I log every night at what time I go to sleep, because the problem that I was having was that I was being very forgetful. So I was forgetting everything, and I always forget everything anyway, because this is part of my nature. But I wasn't recognizing what the problem was. But we were able to discover, and I should have known already, our brain works like a hard drive and a soft drive. And so all the thoughts that come throughout the day to you are thoughts that are coming in and that you need to, during your REM, during your period of sleeping profoundly and deeply, download from soft to hard drive. And so they actually get downloaded. Every thought, every moment, every action that you did throughout your days, throughout those 24 hours, well, not 24, 16 or 18, whatever you were awake, they actually are now moving into a hard drive. Now, if you did not give your body enough time for this to happen, then what is happening is that you're waking up and the computer hasn't ended up doing the recharge that it needs to do, or the download that it needs to do. So now you're waking up and your brain is confused because it has a lot of ideas that did not get to where they needed to get. So what happens is lack of sleep, so sleeping not enough hours, is making you wake up and be less productive, which is some of the invitations I placed tonight was, would you like to be more productive? So I used to think, how am I going to fit the whole day? I can't fit the whole day if I sleep more. But the problem is that if we don't learn to sleep, if I don't correct this behavior, I will not be productive the next day, because I'm just running around forgetting things. I don't know where I left my keys. I don't know that phone number. I forgot my appointment. I have to write everything down, and then we just continue going in this hamster wheel. So my invitation to you is recognize that you actually need at least 7 hours of sleep, and try to reach a goal and set a goal to try and get to those 7 hours of sleep. This is my commitment and what I'm working on throughout the year. Make small commitments. But make a huge commitment. The commitment is huge. You have to say, I will change my sleeping habits, but then take small steps. That's what I meant. Take small steps towards that bigger goal. And so what I did, and I'm not going as fast as I want to, but I'm trying and I'm going to continue, is that at the bottom of that app, and this is just your clock app, actually, the one that gives you, that's, the one that gives you the time on your Facebook. Okay, one second. Where's the time? So, the one that has the timer and the alarms and everything, it has a bedtime app. And I had never noticed that you can actually scroll up. I had never noticed that until a couple of weeks ago. And so what happens here is that, so last night I went to bed at 12:05, and I got up at 6:30 this morning. And it logs every single day. So I'm just going to click here, and I did that again by surprise. And now I'm just going to bring down my lamp. So let me see if I can get this phone working for you guys. And so now what it did, too much light on this phone. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, oh, there it is. You guys can see it. So now what it does is it logs. And so this week, which was the week that I was doing the seminar, I was trying really hard to get more hours of sleep. I logged that an average, and that's the thing, you guys have to check your averages, was 5 hours and 47 of sleep. I'm not doing too good. Like I said, I told you guys I had a secret to tell you. Now, last week, what happened here? 1 second. And so it has actually sleep, nutrition, activity, and I had not even noticed that my phone measures all of that. Now, last week, my average was 4 hours and 36 minutes, guys. That was terrible. The previous week was 5 hours and 24. So that's when I actually started logging them. And I said, what? 5 hours and 24? I don't sleep enough. But then the next week I did 4 hours and 36 average. So that was even worse. So the next week was 4 hours and 58 for that week. And now this week, so I went from 4:58 to 5:47. So I increased 47 minutes average this week, guys. That is a big aha moment for me, because to increase and almost an hour of sleep. Now I know that is not enough because it's 5 hours and 47, which is only 6 hours of sleep. So my goal is to get to 7 hours of sleep within the next 60 days. And it's a challenge. So I'm telling you guys to download the app. You don't even have to download it. It comes with your phone if you have an iPhone, and check it out. Now, what it also does is that it logs it for the month, for the week, for the year, and all that great stuff. And it actually, and I didn't know this, as you're walking and doing everything you do, it logs your kilometers, and it logs your, it was doing all the time. I went back and I said, oh my God, it's been years of logging things that I don't know. So I had 8,000 steps today, and 8,000 steps walking, and I went flight stairs, 12,000 steps walking yesterday. The previous day, 9,000 days, I was like, I walk a lot, and I don't even realize it. But it also said, so you want to make this very balanced. So, you know, if I'm walking 9,000 and I had a very active day and I only average 5 hours of sleep that day. So you see, this day I did not average. That's what I slept, because that's what I logged. 4 hours and I only slept 4 hours and 50 minutes. And it's not too good because I'm walking and working a lot, and I'm only sleeping 5 hours. So that was what I wanted to share with you guys. It was great. So it was great having you here tonight. And again, if you have any questions, I'm actually going to jump to my Facebook. I think I can do this at the same time and see if I have any questions there. Let me see if I can do this at the same time. Oh, windows going on. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't see it yet in my live. I don't know how to go live on my Facebook and see what's happening. So that's all for tonight. I don't see any questions. Oh, my draw, my weekly draw. Oh, I do see my Facebook here. Let me see if you guys have. Hi, Marilyn. I see you. How are you? And Louise, you're going live too. Johan is watching me. Yeah, that's great, Johan. Thank you. That's great. And so we have some people that watch the seminar. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do a live draw for my 2 live attendees, which are Mike and Judy. Now, I'm going to do this one really easy. I'm going to do a heads and tails, but I don't have a coin handy. So, you know what? Because you guys are going to share, I'm not going to do a draw. I'm just going to send you a gift. And this is the gifts that we send. It's just some great bottles with product inside, some teas and drinks and energy drinks and antioxidant drinks that we have. So, Judy and Michael, you're getting this one from me on the mail, and I hope you enjoy green. And let me know if you want green or red, and I'll send you what color you want. And it's just a great little gift from me to you for being a live attendee, because I want to promote people to sign up and register on my Zoom account. And that's all for tonight, guys. I'm ending this, and I love you from Toronto. I'm going to put my child to bed, and this is the great life of living a balance and great life. Work-life balance is everything for me. If you're looking for something like this, let me or any of my friends that are in the company that we work for know, because we are looking for people like you, people that want to recover balance. If you're not in our Cleanse, Detox, and Balance group yet, please go to your Facebook and type Cleanse, Detox, and Balance. Like our page, we do lives every single Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to do a great one on the effects of sugar on the microbiome with Michael and Judy. So watch the Sunday nights. Those go live. They don't go via Zoom. They just go via live Facebook. And don't forget, because we put a lot of recipes. We do lots of great stuff in that group. And it's all about balance. Remember, sleep, nutrition, activity, family life, community, friends. It has to be all tied in one to create that sense of wellness and that sense of happiness. And that's what we want to invite you to do today. So thank you very much. And I love you all.